On June 26, 2020, Karen Garner, a 73-year-old woman suffering from dementia and sensory aphasia, was stopped by Walmart employees after she left the store without paying for items worth approximately $14. Video footage captured Miss Garner walking out of the store with the items in her hands, and she was soon brought back inside by the employees. Subsequently, Miss Garner attempted to pay for the items, but Walmart employees refused her service and asked her to leave immediately. Compliance with their request, Miss Garner left the store. However, one of the Walmart employees contacted the Loveland Police Department to report the alleged theft. A few minutes later, Officer Austin Hoop responded to the call and located Miss Garner as she was walking home after the incident. Officer Hoop parked his patrol car behind her and approached to stop her. Unfortunately, the situation escalated negatively. Officer Hoop failed to effectively communicate with Miss Garner, and he resorted to violently throwing her to the ground in an attempt to place her in handcuffs. This action was unjustified, as Miss Garner displayed no signs of being a threat to Officer Hoop and did not attempt to flee. Instead, she continued walking, which did not warrant such a forceful takedown. In fact, Officer Hoop's approach appeared misplaced from the beginning as he asked the visibly confused Miss Garner an unnecessary question. Do you need to be arrested right now?
Do you need to be arrested right now? No. Okay. Let's stop.
After successfully placing Miss Garner in handcuffs, Officer Hoop proceeded to guide her back to the patrol car. Unfortunately, during this process, he continued to employ excessive force on her and attempted to insinuate that she had been engaged in a physical altercation with him.
Why are you fighting with me? And why are you trying to slip the cuffs off?
I'm going home.
The video from the officer's body camera proved to be beyond a reasonable doubt that Miss Garner and Officer Hoop never came close to a physical altercation. It's obvious that Officer Hoop didn't need to use so much force to keep a 73-year-old woman in custody. In addition, it's important to highlight that Officer Hoop apparently did not take into account the detainee's mental state, which is a significant issue. Officer Hoop obviously disregarded the legal requirement that police use their discretion to determine whether or not a suspect is mentally competent.
I'm going home. I'm going home.
Yeah, I know. I'm just trying to search her.
As if the force employed by one cop wasn't already severe, a second confrontation broke out as cop Daria Jalali arrived to aid Officer Hoop, resulting in Miss Garner being taken to the ground again. Both officers proceeded to secure Miss Garner inside the patrol car, despite her repeated statements that she was simply trying to go home. Officer Hoop responded to her pleas with a dismissive laugh, stating, "No, you're not," in a mocking manner.
You have to use that much aggression?
What are you doing? Get out of here. This is not your business.
Once again, Hoop's negligent demeanor became evident as he dealt with the situation. While Officer Hoop moved to the other side of the patrol car to secure Miss Garner, a Good Samaritan emerged from his vehicle and approached Officer Hoop, questioning the necessity of using aggression against an elderly woman.
What's your date of birth, Karen? What's your date of birth? Okay.
The young man had witnessed the entire incident unfold from a distance and decided to drive up to the scene. Officer Hoop, displaying further negligence, dismissed the young man's concerns, instructing him to leave as it was none of his business. Following a brief confrontation, Officer Hoop returned to assisting Officer Jolly in securing Miss Garner. Once they successfully placed Miss Garner inside the patrol car, Officer Hoop attempted to identify her by asking for her date of birth. However, he received no response, indicating Miss Garner was unable to provide the requested information. Given Miss Garner's disability, it is unsurprising that she would encounter difficulties understanding Officer Hoop's demands, let alone recalling her date of birth. Both officers appeared to overlook the possibility of Miss Garner having a disability, despite it becoming increasingly evident by that point. Shortly after, the officers engaged in a casual conversation, during which Officer Jalali expressed her concerns for Officer Hoop, stating that she would have arrived more quickly if he had mentioned a physical altercation.
200. Yeah, okay.
All right,
Hey.
let's get her down the station.
Okay, we don't need to wait for the fellow.
No, we can see what it, I
Okay.
mean, we know what's it said.
She stole some stuff, and they caught her before she left and got it back, and then she ran out. So we have
And then you contacted her for that.
And then she resisted and
Obstructed and
obstructed.
resisted. So
We're good either way.
we're good either way.
Cool.
She's going.
All right.
Let's get a blue path. If they decide not to prosecute, I don't care.
Cool. Okay, we'll head down there.
Officer Hoop responded to Officer Jalali's concerns by making remarks about Miss Garner, commenting that she was like 20 pounds, and implying that the situation would have been different if it had involved a larger individual. This statement indicates that Officer Hoop was well aware of Miss Garner's fragile state as an elderly woman, yet he still exhibited excessive aggression toward her. The situation becomes even more questionable when both officers display uncertainty about the potential charges against Miss Gardner. Officer Jalali appears to have no understanding of what Miss Gardner could have done wrong initially. Sergeant Phil Metzler, the fourth responding officer, informs Officer Hoop that Miss Garner would be charged with resisting arrest and obstruction, regardless of whether or not Walmart decided to press charges. Immediately following the incident, Officer Hoop, Officer Jalali, and Community Service Officer Tyler Blackett were captured by a police station surveillance camera engaging in laughter and joking while watching the footage of the arrest from Officer Hoop's body camera. On May 19, 2021, the Colorado 8th Judicial District Critical Response Team completed an investigation into the incident, leading to the filing of criminal charges against Officer Hoop and Officer Jalali. Officer Hoop faced 3 charges, including assault. However, on March 2, 2022, Officer Hoop pleaded guilty to a single charge of second-degree assault, classified as a Class 4 felony. Consequently, he received a 5-year prison sentence. Meanwhile, Officer Jalali pleaded guilty to 1 count of failure to intervene in Larimer County District Court in June of the same year. As a result, she was sentenced to 45 days in jail and placed under 36 months of probation. However, despite the clarification provided by Mr. Hodges when he displayed his cane from his back pocket to Deputy Goad, she continued to pursue him. It became evident that Deputy Goad lacked probable cause to detain Mr. Hodges, as her suspicion of him carrying a firearm was disproven.
What's this in your back pocket? I saw you walking it.
For navigational aids. What's the problem? You a tyrant?
Yeah, I am actually. What's your name and date of birth?
I don't have to give that unless
Yes,
I'm
sir. I was
You
investigating.
have reasonable,
Do you want me to
articulated
put you in
suspicion.
handcuffs right now? Yes, sir, I do.
What is your suspicion?
It looks like you're carrying a gun in your back pocket. I'm stopping to make sure you're carrying it properly. You don't
have
have
you
to.
ensured that it's not a firearm?
No, you keep turning so I can't see it. You don't have to be a dick to me.
Well, you're being one to me.
No, sir. I'm
Have a
doing my
good day.
job.
Am I detained?
Yeah, you are.
Nevertheless, Deputy Goad proceeded to inform Mr. Hodges that he was being detained and demanded his identification, asking for his name and date of birth. Mr. Hodges questioned the necessity of providing his personal information, stating that he had not committed any crime. In response, he requested the presence of Deputy Goad's supervisor, who coincidentally arrived at that moment.
Sir, what you stopped for?
For a walking stick.
So,
And it could look like a weapon. She asked you to really present it, okay? Now she's asking me for ID. Okay. I don't need the ID unless there's reasonable articulated suspicion that I have committed a crime and committing a crime or about to do a crime.
Sergeant Randy Harrison approached Mr. Hodges and promptly inquired about the reason for Deputy Goad's initial stop. Mr. Hodges explained the circumstances to Sergeant Harrison, who in turn demanded identification from Mr. Hodges as well.
You were armed, okay, and she's asking you for your ID. Well, now she has verified that I am not armed, okay? So there is no problem. You have your ID or not? I do have my ID, but you don't need it, okay? Okay?
Initially, Deputy Goad may have possessed a reasonable suspicion to stop Mr. Hodges if she genuinely believed that the item protruding from his back pocket was a firearm. However, once it became unequivocally evident that Mr. Hodges was not carrying any firearms, any further detainment would be considered unlawful. Despite this realization, Deputy Goad and her supervisor, Sergeant Harrison, collaborated to handcuff Mr. Hodges and conduct a search of his pockets. Mr. Hodges requested the names and badge numbers of both officers, but neither of them responded to his demand.
Wallet in. Where's your wallet at, sir? I don't have a wallet on me.
okay, where's your ID?
Where's your ID at? Pocket. Which pocket? You are not allowed to search me.
It's in this pocket.
There you go.
Thank you.
It is important to note that throughout the ordeal, the officers did not show any concern regarding the cane that initiated the encounter. The cane remained in Mr. Hodges' back pocket during the entire confrontation, and neither of the two officers displayed any interest in it, even when Mr. Hodges pulled it out in front of them. This further emphasizes that the cane was never the underlying issue. The officers had other, seemingly trivial reasons to detain Mr. Hodges. After engaging in back-and-forth communication over the police radio, Deputy Goad approached Mr. Hodges once again, attempting to assert unnecessary authority and further escalate the situation. She questioned him, asking if it was challenging for him to comply.
Are you legally blind? Yes, I am. Okay. I had to walk up here in the dark for jury duty. which was cancer. But you're using your stick. You don't have to use your stick all the time, but not all the time.
Mr. Hodges was arrested and charged with resisting without violence, as indicated by jail records that show his booking at 8:25 a.m. that morning. He was released 26 hours later. 2 days following his release, Mr. Hodges submitted a records request for the body camera footage on November 7, 2022. The viral video that circulated clearly demonstrated that Mr. Hodges had not engaged in any actions warranting arrest. An arrest report authored by Deputy Goad, she stated that James had violated Florida Statute 843.02 by obstructing an ongoing investigation. According to her report, Mr. Hodges repeatedly refused to allow identification of the object in his pocket and declined to provide his ID. However, the body camera footage contradicted her account, showing that Mr. Hodges promptly and willingly presented the object from his pocket to both officers. Miss Odom's claims that Mr. Clark had assaulted her resulted in a bloody altercation turned out to be unfounded. When the officers arrived at the scene, there was no evidence of blood or visible injuries. Moreover, had the officers requested a background check on Miss Odom, they would have discovered her extensive history of encounters with the law. This included a 2016 conviction for fraud in the first degree, multiple felony charges of aggravated domestic assault, and even an attempted murder charge, which she apparently remained influenced by. The actions taken by Officers Hanning and Summers demonstrated a clear neglect of the usual protocols during the encounter.
He banged on the door, or through the wall. Bam, 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 and I'm sleeping. Shut the f*** up!
They seemed to accept Miss Odom's account without questioning her, despite the evident fact that she was intoxicated and lacked clarity. After speaking with Miss Odom and Mr. Braden, the officers proceeded to approach Mr. Clark, who resided next door. Following a few knocks on Mr. Clark's door, he opened it while holding a collectible sawfish snout sword, which had been a gift from his late brother-in-law. Mr. Clark had retrieved the sword with the sole intention of self-defense, expecting a confrontation with Miss Odom rather than the arrival of police attempting to resolve the matter. Given the circumstances, Mr. Clark was entirely justified in opening the door with a weapon in hand, as the officers had not identified themselves as law enforcement, a requirement mandated by law prior to such encounters. Despite the situation de-escalating when Mr. Clark complied by placing the weapon on a shelf and facing the officers, Officer Hanning made an attempt to tackle him by kicking his leg and punching his head. It was apparent at this point that Mr. Clark did not pose a threat to the officers. Officer Hanning had sufficient time and opportunity to detain Mr. Clark after he had put away the sword. However, instead of doing so, Officer Hanning retreated and proceeded to draw his firearm. Mr. Clark, remaining motionless with his hands clearly visible, demonstrated that he held nothing that could potentially harm anyone.
What do you want? What the fuck?
It was at this moment that Officer Hanning, without providing any warning, aimed his taser at Mr. Clark's stomach and discharged it. It's important to note the conflicting demands issued by the two officers. Officer Hanning instructed Mr. Clark to walk into the hallway, while Officer Summers simultaneously told him to get on the ground. As Mr. Clark fell backward, his head made contact with a chair, rendering him unconscious. The situation worsened when both officers attempted to move Mr. Clark's body outside, resulting in his head striking the corner of a shelf, which caused a laceration on his head. Furthermore, Officer Hanning employed unnecessary force by placing his knee on Mr. Clark's neck while restraining him with handcuffs. Reports indicated that his knee restraint led to an injury to Mr. Clark's carotid artery, necessitating surgical intervention for treatment. It is notable that this particular knee restraint has been associated with several fatalities in the past. As Officer Summers attended to Mr. Clark in an attempt to revive him, Officer Hanning had a different agenda.
Get out here right now! Get out here!
Get on the ground!
No. They hit that wall so hard, I thought they were going to come through the wall.
He re-entered Mr. Clark's apartment and took hold of the sword that had been placed on top of the shelf. The reasoning behind Officer Hanning's actions may have been unclear at first, but it became evident with his subsequent actions. Officer Hanning positioned the sword approximately 5 feet away from where Mr. Clark lay unconscious, creating the illusion that Mr. Clark had walked out of his apartment wielding the sword with the intent to attack the officers. Following the use of unlawful force, Mr. Clark was swiftly transported to the hospital, where tests for drugs or alcohol came back negative. His initial vital signs indicated the possibility of heart-related complications, and he required stitches for a head wound. Within 24 hours of the incident, Mr. Clark developed a blood clot in his injured carotid artery and began vomiting blood. Additionally, 12 hours later, he suffered a stroke. Approximately 48 hours after being discharged, Mr. Clark found himself readmitted to the hospital due to complications arising from the initial surgery. Consequently, Mr. Clark pursued legal action and reached a settlement agreement with the Idaho Springs Police Department amounting to a remarkable sum of $7 million. This record-breaking payout exceeds the settlement awarded to Karen Gardner in September 2021.
Here is Orlando police pulling over the wrong one.
You're good. What agency you with?
I'm the state attorney.
This is Aramis Ayala, the first black state attorney elected in the state of Florida.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Your tag didn't come back. Never seen that before. I'm sorry? Yeah. We're good now.
So it was...
We ran the tag. I've never seen it before. A Florida tag. It's never come back to anything before. So that's the reason for the stop.
Befuddled with the officer's reason, she asks a simple follow-up.
What was the tag run for?
I'm sorry?
What was the tag run for?
Oh, we run tags all the time, whether it's the traffic lights and that sort of stuff. That's how we figure out if, cars are stolen and that sort of thing. Also, the windows were really dark. I don't have a tint measurer, but...
You can see Ayala smirking, because she knows what's up.
That's another reason for the stop.
All right. Do you guys have cards on you?
Yeah, 1 second, please. Actually, this isn't my...
In a video that recently emerged, Orlando police can be seen pulling over Aramis Ayala, the first black state attorney elected in Florida. Ayala, clearly surprised and confused, questions the reason behind the traffic stop. The officer responds by mentioning that they ran the license plate as part of a routine procedure. Ayala firmly denies any violation of laws and asserts that her license plate and tinted windows are in full compliance with Florida law. Despite her explanation, the video has sparked outrage among some viewers who argue that the traffic stop was racially motivated, implying racial profiling is the reason behind it. This incident has gained significant national attention with news outlets covering the story. Furthermore, it became a part of an ongoing lawsuit involving Ayala and Governor Rick Scott. The lawsuit raises questions about the justification behind Governor Scott's decision to remove Ayala's office from 21 first-degree murder cases, including the trial of accused police killer Mark Heath Lloyd.
Oh, you kind of match the suspect in the description of what I'm looking for. What's your name? What's your name? Why? Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. Okay, well, like I said, just come here. We're trying to figure this out, man.
Working out? Serious?
Do what?
I'm working out. I'm doing a run.
I just got a call for a family violence.
Dude.
What's your name, dude?
I'm not giving you my name. I'm just here working out.
Okay, if that's all it is, I
Then
just
let
need
me
to get your
go.
name. That's not, I need to know your
I'm not
name.
giving you my name. I don't have to give you my name.
The San Antonio Police Department pulled this on an innocent man.
Okay, why are you acting like this, man?
Because I'm working out and you're bothering me. I'm being bothered on a
Because
fucking
you
normal
match the
run.
description of
I don't
somebody that
care
just
what
choked your
description.
girl.
I don't care what description. I just want to do my damn run.
All I need to know is your name.
Hey, damn, dude. I can't do a damn run.
All I need to know is any kind of information you got.
I don't have any information to give to you. I'm
What's
on
your
the
name?
run.
What's your name then?
You're not getting that information.
Okay, well then you're gonna be detained right now, okay?
Okay, for what?
For being a suspect of family violence until I figure out who you are. Okay. I'm gonna put you in the back of my car, okay? Since you wanna act like
No,
that.
I'm gonna be right here.
No, you're not. You're going to the back of my
I
car
want to
until I
sit
get
right
this
here. I
figured out.
didn't do anything. I want to sit right down in the grass.
You're gonna go in the car.
In another incident, a man is seen being detained by San Antonio Police Department officers. The man questions why he's being detained, to which officers respond that he matches the description of a suspect involved in a family violence case. The man asserts his innocence and refuses to provide his identification, stating that he is working and being bothered unnecessarily.
Doing
All I
wrong.
needed to know was your name. That
So,
was it.
did I break a rule?
Any kind of ID or anything on you.
Don't touch me, bro. I don't sit to a search.
I'm not searching you. I'm just
You're
fixing
touching
you.
me. No,
Okay.
you're not fixing me. You're touching my shorts and going to my...
Why are you acting like this, man? All
Why
I
do
need
you
to know
think?
is your name.
Why do you think?
Because I just got a family violence call and my
Okay.
victim said that you matched the suspect. You're not under arrest. You're just being detained right now. All I need to know is your info, and that was it. We'll get you out of here. But if you want to play like this, it's just going to be a long run, man. So, where do you live at? No. Not going to answer me. Why? Why?
The officers attempt to search the man, but he resists, insisting that they have no right to search him. The situation escalates as the officers forcefully try to place the man in their patrol car while he continues to protest his innocence. The man mentions that he's a lawyer and records the encounter live on Facebook to ensure transparency.
Look, I'm a lawyer, man. I don't have to cooperate whatsoever with you. If you want to take me in, please do. 1 second, please. All right, so we're recording this live. I don't trust the cops whatsoever. Sorry, that's just my opinion. I'm not going to provide you any information, sir.
Okay. What's your name?
Do not cooperate. I'm a lawyer.
Did I understand you have video of what happened earlier, sir?
Yep, posted live on Facebook for everybody.
What's the Facebook account it's posted on?
I'm not providing you any information.
And your birthday, ma'am?
Do I have to give you?
You do not.
Okay. You want your card back, ma'am?
No.
Okay. All right. You guys have a good day, okay?
The person who was a witness came to the station and told them he didn't like what he saw and uploaded it online afterwards. The officers came back for his name and birthday, but he refused to give it to them. The man records the encounter live on Facebook and expresses his distrust of police. The conversation ends with the officers returning the man's identification card and allowing him to leave, while he asserts his rights and states that he does not trust the police. Now let's move to another video.
Turn around, put your hands behind your back now! Okay. Now! Okay, behind my back, sir.
In a recent incident in Pittsburgh, a police officer named Paul Abel found himself in a humiliating situation that was captured on camera.
You didn't listen! I told you to go away. I didn't do it. You didn't want to listen. You told me to go away for what reason? Dude, I don't have to sit here and have conversations. Did I commit a crime? Did I tell you to give me your ID? Ma'am, I'm on...
Bystanders who witnessed the incident began to question Officer Abel's actions and demanded an explanation as to why he was making an arrest without any apparent justification.
Hey.
Why is he under arrest?
Dude, I'm hacked. Can you please tell me? I know this kid since he was 3 years old. I don't care. Okay? Can you please tell me what I'm under arrest for? Would you sit down? Okay. Get down on the ground. Can you please tell me what I'm under arrest for, sir? Failure to disperse. Disperse for what reason?
Failure to disperse.
During the incident, Officer Abel was accused of using a taser on an individual and conducting an illegal search of a bystander's bag.
3806, Abel, please walk away. Give me space. Please keep
I don't want to walk away.
Sure.
Walk back
got it.
We know his sister, his father. He's a member of his community. He works at the JC. What's the problem is?
This is out of
He
hand.
decided to be disrespectful to me.
He's allowed to do that.
Yeah, he's allowed
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
No.
You're being absolutely out of hand.
I'm not allowed to tell you what he did. You want to know what he did? Then walk away. If you don't want to know what he did, then walk away.
I want to know what he did. What did he do?
Are you going to interrupt me again?
Here's what you said he did.
I told him to walk away. He kept blocking the entrance. I said it 3 times.
Okay.
Wouldn't move.
Is it a public thoroughfare? Is it private property?
Right now it is.
These actions raise concerns about police brutality and the disregard for the experiences of minorities, as the incident occurred in the context of ongoing discussions about the mistreatment of marginalized communities by law enforcement. What further amplifies these concerns is Officer Abel's history of controversial incidents. In one instance, he mistakenly assaulted an innocent person after pursuing someone he believed had assaulted him in a bar. The individual was ultimately found to be the wrong person, but Officer Abel faced no legal consequences for his actions. The city, however, did pay a civil settlement of around $45,000. In a recent incident,
You shouldn't engage him no information. That's illegal. This illegal search.
Did somebody else stop you today?
Don't worry. No, he ain't gotta answer no questions. He ain't gotta answer no questions.
Just so you know, I got a body cam.
It don't matter. It ain't on though right now. You didn't press the button. I know law, bro. If you ain't committing no crime, you ain't got no business right here asking no question, interrogating them. This is a legal detain. What crime was committed? Who would they say was watching? Who they said that did it? Who are you looking for? What's the person's name? What's the description of the person, officer? What's your badge number? What's your badge number?
Rosenbaum 161.
161? Okay. I'll be calling your office. They know who I am, Toy Battle. You got suspicion?
I'm not stopping.
You got suspicion? Well, you ain't supposed to ask that, though, because you're running them right now in leads.
You're free to go right now.
Yeah, you is free to go. He is free to go. He always free to go. And don't ask somebody else on how with their name without them committing crimes. That is illegal. Y'all time is almost up. All right? Don't ask nobody their name and their ID. That's illegal.
Everybody good out here?
Yeah, everybody always good out here. We only good when you ain't out here manipulating people. Have a nice day. Stop scanning people's names. Find some real criminals.
Police officers caught harassing black men, and the entire incident was recorded. The person who recorded the incident demonstrated a deep understanding of their rights and courageously questioned the officer's actions. The video serves as a stark reminder of the pervasive issue of racial injustice and police brutality that occurs on a daily basis. The incident also draws attention to Colin Kaepernick, a prominent figure who protested against racial injustice by taking a knee during the national anthem. Kaepernick's activism led to the establishment of the Know Your Rights campaign, which aimed to educate and empower individuals, particularly youth, on interacting with law enforcement and understanding their rights. Other instances of racial profiling and injustices faced by black individuals. One such case is Michael Bennett, a professional football player who was wrongly accused of injuring a paraplegic woman during the Super Bowl. Despite new video evidence clearing his name, Bennett's case exemplifies the challenges faced by black individuals in the face of racial profiling. There are so many issues that are unaddressed.